Hi, I will talk about another animation constraint today, which would be quite useful when you do some animatics in 3ds Max. The constraint is called look at constraint. I will use my sketches instead of models, which would be a quite quick way to do small short videos for your animatics. I prepared two kind of maps, which are the first ones are as color maps, these ones. And I also prepared a transparency map, which is this one. So all the things that are white will be transparent, and just the things that are in this black part will be visible. You can prepare them with using CorelDRAW and Corel Photo Paint, and or you can also just sketch them on a paper and then scan them. If you would like to have some more information, we can really discuss this also in the course, so I can prepare another tutorial for that. As you may remember, those were like the objects that I will be using, so I will just quickly prepare a scene for them. I will just create some cylinders. Let's say this is my scene. I prepared my sketches in squares, so I will also need to make some squares for that. So I create a plane that is a square. I will just show it with one of the objects, and I may also use the other sketches as well later on. So this is my plane, and I will add materials to this, as I will be using some textures, some maps. I will just have one material and several maps. First, I will select my color map, which is my sketch. And I need to also use a transparency map, which is the other ones. So I connect this one to the transparency map, and my sketch, I will use it as a color map. And I will assign this to my plane. Actually, you will see that it's just the color that we see. And if we activate the active shade mode, you will see that we now see also the effect of the transparency map. Although you see a square around it, there is no square when you render it, so it's just this object, this sketch, which is going to be used instead of my object. Animatics are a quite quick way to make a prototype of your animation, actually. And if you are satisfied with the time and also with the effects, then you can do the real animation later on. But if you use maps like this, you wouldn't like to see in your animation that those are just sketches, so it's like just a plane, but you would like to see it like a object. So in that way, we need to use the look at constraint. Therefore, I need to create a camera, so this sketch will look to the camera as well. So I create a free camera, and actually for your animation it will be also quite important that you animate your scene using cameras, not just using the perspective here. So I'm just adjusting the camera according to my So let's say that we are using this camera in our animation. So this would be like the thing that we are going to see. But in our animation, for example, if we just turn around this object, we will see that it's just a plane, and we don't want this effect, so we would like to use it as an object. Therefore, we will be using this constraint, which is called look at constraint. So you need to go to animation, go to constraints, and go to look at constraint. But first we need to select our plane, animation, constraints, and look at constraint. So this will be like the features of this modifier. As I will like to rotate this plane according to my view from the camera, I need to select rotation. I need to adjust the axis of my object. So it's best, the easiest way to just adjust all of them and then look at which point it does do the thing that you want. So now I have adjusted my my object according to the camera. As you will see that it's now a bit inclined, because our camera is not just looking to the object in 90 degrees, but it's also the thing that we really want, because we would like to see this plane like an object. So I will go to my camera again. Now I see that the object just looks into the camera. It's easiest when we see it from here. So if I move my camera, the object follows it, as you see. When I do my animatics, the object will always face to my camera. So it's a way that you somehow hide that this object does not really it was not modeled, but it's just a plane. So when we animate this, for example, so we need to open set keys. Let's say our animation begins somewhere here. It's actually the animatics of the animation. So this is the first keyframe, and somewhere here, let's say our camera moves to this place. I add a key here as well, and at the end of my animation, the camera is somewhere like here. So I will add a key here as well. I go out of the set key menu, and now, for example, let's say this is the animatic of our scene. When I play the animatic, you will notice that I'm always facing my object, so it looks more like an object rather than just a plane. And if we would like render it, it would be more clear, but for just now it's just okay. In that way, you don't need to like model all the things for your animatics, but you can just sketch them and use them instead of detailed objects. And so you can really test your time spans or your motions. It will be a good way to think and start about your final animation. I hope it will help you to develop your animation. Thank you.